Hi everyone, Dr. Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist here. As always, thank you for tuning in. So today's video is going to be on friendship boundaries. Little backstory, I actually was having a conversation with a high school friend of mine, so many years, and we haven't seen each other in the flesh in a very long time, and her and I were talking about a possible overnight that I'll be spending at her place, and I loved it because she too is healing. So as part of our conversation, she let me know her early bedtime. She also let me know an early plan that she would have to be committed to that following morning. I really appreciated that because I also have an early bedtime and I have no problem getting up and getting out of her place so that she can carry on with her plan. I really respected that, and it got me thinking about boundaries and friendships. So why not talk about them? I broke down 3 big categories of different types of boundaries that you might be considering in friendships. The first one is conversational, real simple. Topics that are okay or not okay to be discussed. So here might fall, say family. You're going through something with your family and it's just really raw for you right now. Maybe you don't really want to be talking about family things. In friendships, totally okay to say, hey, friend, whomever, I really don't want to talk about that topic right now. This could apply for any topic, because the reality of it is we can choose the conversations that we want to engage in. Another thought comes to mind. Say we just went through a breakup and we keep showing up, and this one friend is really in a well-intentioned way trying to be incredibly supportive, but we begin to notice that the way that this person is offering us support is to badmouth our ex. And while for some of us that might feel good, maybe we feel angry and we're getting those emotions out, not all of the time would that feel good for each of us. So if I come home from time spent with that friend and I begin to realize, I see where she's coming from, she thinks she's supporting me, but actually every time I hear about my ex in this negative way, it brings me down. Completely appropriate to say, hey friend, I know you're trying to be supportive, but maybe we don't talk about my ex for a little bit. Those are examples of conversational boundaries. Next type of boundary you might consider in a friendship is consumption, what I call consumption boundaries. So things or energy, again, that we might choose to be or to not be around. So some of you out there, if you're navigating a new relationship, say with alcohol, this might be a conversation with your friends, hey, I'm trying to avoid or limit my alcohol intake. So maybe I don't want to be around bar type settings or happy hours anymore. Maybe I might offer that nature or something outside is more along the lines of what I'm interested in doing now. Same thing goes in terms of our emotions and our mood. If we're feeling down, maybe we're interested in consuming something light or lighthearted, a funny movie. It's okay to express these wants and needs in friendships included. So if there are places that you find yourself expending energy or things that you find this one particular friend always offering, come to the table with a new suggestion. It's okay to have a boundary up around the things that we want to consume, even in our friendships. Another type of boundary that I think is really important is what I call energetic boundaries. Essentially, that just limits on what we can and what we cannot give. Give meaning emotional bandwidth, energy, really pretty much anything. Now, a lot of you listening, of course, many of us want to show up and be supportive of our friends. However, we have to acknowledge where we are energetically and emotionally, because we cannot always expect ourselves when we're going through a stressful time period to be able to pick up or to want to pick up that call from that friend to hear about what is going on in their life. We are all on different rhythms, and when we don't have our emotional bandwidth available to us or our resources, it is really okay to just acknowledge that to your friend. Hey friend, listen, I really want to be supportive to you. I'm in a bad place right now. I need to take care of me. Another example that comes to mind can be around our triggers. So for instance, if we have been cheated on and say we're still in that raw period, grieving the wounds that oftentimes infidelities bring up, then we come to find out a good friend of ours also has been cheated on. So it might be, intuitive for the two of us to get together and talk about how we've been cheated on and how much that hurts. That doesn't mean that's going to feel good for each of us. Hearing my friend and what has happened in my friend's relationship might be completely overwhelming for me, might bring up all of my own emotions that are just too much, and that's okay too. To that friend, you could just offer, listen, friend, I really want to support you. I'm going through it too. Maybe you can go to a third friend at this time. So just giving some thought. These are incredibly important boundaries. They are completely appropriate in terms of friendship. And all of these are up for negotiation. The more we can communicate with our friends, acknowledge the areas that don't feel so great in the relationship, and offer a solution that works for both parties will lead to the more fulfilling friendships that we can each have.